nitty gritty, bleeding purple my city. Don't score with the Steelers, no enemy. Ozing some Hennessy, catch us out stomping the yard. Candy yards, my foot McCannery. See, it's nitty gritty, Nick and Keith gon' get litty. 2 times a week, giving keys to the city. Tune and get with me. I got that, seeing the game little differently.
Welcome back. Episode 408, Nitty Gritty Sports Talk Radio Show. I go by the name of Roscoe English, and of course, I'm here with the spot. Got my guy Keys with me.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling out there?
My man Nick.
Here for the funeral.
Like your glasses, man. Like your glasses. And of course, last but not least, Keith PJ.
Scub, what's up?
Hey man, I can't complain. How y'all feeling?
I feel like dying.
We got a lot to complain about. You can't complain. We got a lot to complain about.
Well, I'm gonna complain about a little bit, but I ain't gonna complain as much as y'all. So let's get started. Let's go to the bank that don't make deposits. For a second year in a row, different team though. Gardner Minshew comes into the bank and defeats the Ravens 26-23. He completed 30 passes for 276 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Lamar Jackson, 21 completions, 247 yards, a touchdown, and a pick that wasn't his fault, but it goes under his stat line regardless. Fly. Talk to me.
I mean, listen, you can really start anywhere with this. We talked about it prior, about it potentially being one of those trap games. For some reason, not just Ravens, but all Baltimore sports teams, they just tend to play down to the level of their opponent. But you got to think about it like, well, what level are you at? And what level your opponent at, right? So it's not like maybe you're not playing down to your level. Maybe you just suck, and that's what you need to talk about. I think Keith mentioned it maybe a couple weeks ago. Well, not a couple weeks ago, but after the game, everything just looked the same. It's literally the same. It's lackluster. You're not finding energy, and you changed the offensive coordinator, you changed the defensive coordinator, you changed the players, and I mean, it's only one thing that's constant. That's literally is one thing that's constant with this team. You changed the running backs, you drafted a new cornerback, you got rid of Patrick Queen, you got new linebackers, so and we're gonna get into the thing that's constant a little bit later, but when your quarterback. He improved his completion percentage this week. He almost had, 300 yards all purpose between his, his running and his passing. Derrick Henry, even though I feel like they forced it a little bit, he averaged 5 yards a carry, damn near 5 yards a carry. Lamar Jackson averaged, I guess you could take away the big run at the end, but his average was decent. Justice Hill, he ain't running much, but he averaged 5 yards a carry. Your top 3-4 receivers, they always averaging, if you do that average, they averaging 10 to catch. So I feel like, the players, and we can talk about the defense. I think offensively or whatever, Moncton need to do something else, man. It's stale, it's dry. It's a problem when, you take a whole offseason and 2 games into a regular season. Well, I guess 2 quarters into the second game, and you finally figure out how to run Derrick Henry. Like, why are you trying to run him in between the tackles? You should have been stopped on it. That doesn't work. He can't run in between tackles. What's the point of doing that? With an offensive line like that, and it's literally the worst offensive line I have seen in Baltimore history. Like, even Kyle Bowler had a better offensive line than this. Like, he's under pressure. He's constantly under pressure. We literally cannot run the ball. Throw the stat, like I said, I gave you all that, but throw them out. We literally cannot run the ball. It's not effective. It's the difference between running the ball and then being effective. But the run wasn't effective. It really wasn't effective. When you run the ball is effective, you control. You had the time of possession. The Ravens lost the time of possession yesterday, so it's really not effective. It's like I said, you as a Ravens fan or whatever, you sit here and you look, it seems that you should be beaten. It seems that you should dominate, and we never do. You look at it, it's another second quarter, a second half double-digit lead blown at home under the same coach that's still here. You 0-2, you go to Dallas, you got Buffalo coming in, so you're starting 0-4 in the face. So it's not, the schedule doesn't get easy. Then you got at Cincinnati after that, so you're starting 0-5 in the face. It's literally right there looking at you in the face. But we got to sit here and say, people going to tell us John Harbaugh is a good coach, and take the official out. This one show that we don't complain about the official. You got 11 penalties. That's coaching, man. That's coaching. They could have picked up a couple, and they could have not called a couple of them, whatever, here, there, whatever. But that's still 11 penalties for 100 and something yards. That's coaching. That's not having your team ready to play. Like, I think individually, like Lamar, the players played well. Like, it's bad. We come on the show, we talk about Owe all the time. He had 2.5 sacks. We can't even talk about it. We could say, he had a good game, but it's the grand scheme of things. What don't really matter? Calvin, I know he coming back off a broken eye, had 2 sacks. Individually, people played well, but when you got an incompetent coach, there's nothing you can really do. There's nothing you can really do. End of the half, Ravens could have had a chance. I never played the end zone, but guess what? We didn't have a timeout. Into the second half, time running down, we could have maybe, we could have threw the ball in the middle of the field one more time, but guess what? We didn't have a timeout. It's literally the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's not like something like John Harbaugh, we coming into this, or we saying, well, give him a chance. This is for first time coach, or we saying, we ain't never seen this mistake before. We've seen this mistake a lot of times. We've seen it over and over again. We've seen this mistake over and over and over again. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. You can't be losing to, if you're a team that got Super Bowl aspirations, you can't be losing to the Las Vegas Raiders at home after you had a second half double-digit lead. So no, it's not like I said. You literally staring 0-5 in the face, and there's only one person you really could point the finger at. Like, it's really one person, and the offense, it's stale. I said that it's stale, but I'm not going to sit here and who hires the offensive coordinator. All this comes back to goddamn John Harbaugh, and I've been saying it. People laugh. People think I'm joking. Sometimes I make jokes about it, but it's a 3-4 year thing where your coach don't even know. He don't even got somebody in the booth to tell him not to challenge a fucking play. That the whole America saying that he would never won. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous that you put your team in that spot. You're giving up points. You're giving up 7. It's ridiculous. It's just a status. It's a sad state of affairs. That you lose in double-digit halftime lead, second half leads to the Las Vegas Raiders, and and I guess my last point was I'm sorry that I said Brandon Stevens. I don't know what was I thinking. I don't know what was I thinking. At the same time, it's Devontae Adams, so he can do that to anybody, but he was used and abused. But yeah, like I said, I'll let y'all break down more of the game and get into the players and all that. But I can't even get into all that because I'm stuck at John Harbaugh.
All right, is this thing on? Listen, man. Piss poor. Keys mentioned Super Bowl aspirations. We shouldn't have Super Bowl aspirations. This isn't the same team that was on the cusp last year. This is a completely different team at multiple key positions. We chose that path. We chose to go young and retool in that way. So this is what we have to deal with. We choose to believe in the Eric DeCosta drafting system and the development system of John Harbaugh, and we believe that our guys are the best guys for the job. And it's showing that a lot of these guys put in the position right now are mid. You look at what the Twitter debates are today. Ben Cleveland versus Filele. They both suck. They both aren't the options for Lamar Jackson in protecting his life and protecting his career and his season and our playoff hopes. There are no playoff hopes right this second. We're 0-2. We just lost to Gardner Minshew at home. That is not an indictment or something to where you say, you know what, we can't do this in January. There might not be a January. There might not be a Lamar past week 8. But we can start talking about the game. Let's talk about how we were up 16-6 and how the defense was doing pretty good. Got a stop. We have the ball. What happens? Lamar tries to get Rashad Bateman involved because, Rashad Bateman, he's talking to the media all week. I'm a precision route runner. Lamar is more backyard football. We have to get on the same page. Look at Lamar trying to get on the same page as the former first-round pick. And what happens? First of all, Rob Spillane snatches it out of his hands, so he wanted the ball more. Secondly, it only came out of his hands because he dropped the pass. For all the crying that we consistently do on the internet about Rashad Bateman, whether it's him crying or the fans crying, oh, feed Rashad. Rashad needs more targets. Rashad needs this. These are the things that he does on tape. Ain't no nails going to fix that. That changed the momentum of the game. We were up 16-6 with ball after a stop. That changed the momentum of the game. At that point, you gave Las Vegas some belief. Shout out to Max Crosby for being a leader, pulling Gardner Minshew to the side after an interception, getting in his grill and saying, you know what, we need you, big dog. If we're going to win this game, we need you. We got you. The defense, we got you. We need you to do your part. That's pretty much what happened in the game. Defense on the Raiders were taking turns, abusing the right side. Max Crosby was getting in the backfield without any hesitation, among others. And it just changed the complexion of the game. The Keys mentioned the Ravens were penalized 11 times for 109 yards compared to 3 penalties for 15 yards from the Raiders. So we got out coached and we got out executed. Marlon Humphrey, you talked about Brandon Stevens. I want to bring up Marlon Humphrey because every time I saw Marlon Humphrey, he was on a piggyback ride. He was trailing and then trying to make a tackle and getting dragged 3, 4, 5 yards down the field. Big Marlon, podcast Marlon, and respect to him. I'm not trying to play him, but that's what we saw. The Raiders scored on their final 4 possessions of the game. So we couldn't get a stop when we most needed it. But it wasn't the defensive fault. The Ravens also came up empty on our last 2 offensive possessions and countless possessions before that when we could have continued to put our foot down and on their necks and get them out of here. And it wasn't just offense. Justin Tucker continues to miss from 50 yards, 1 for 7 from his last 7 tries from 50 yards and out. That is unacceptable. Jordan Stout, a 24-yard punt that was accompanied by a 5-yard penalty in which offered a net gain of 19 yards of field position change. So at that point, with 2 and some change left, the Raiders really didn't have to do much to take the lead. We gifted them the game and the lead.
We only had two timeouts too.
Well, that's a normal thing, you know. I mean, everybody loves this John Harbaugh aggressive shit, right? We love 2-point conversions. We love going for we love going for it on 4th down, not kicking field goals, not going to overtime, throwing a challenge flag. John Harbaugh is 2 for 12 since 2022 in challenges. Nobody cares about the timeouts, huh? Nobody cares about time and clock management. Exactly, but I'm just saying in general. Nobody cares about clock management anymore, right? So when people like Troy Smith sit there and say, if not John, then who? Anybody that can fucking manage a clock. Anybody that can throw a challenge flag when appropriate. The damn stadium shows the replays for free without a challenge.
What I say yesterday, Keys, they showing it on the big board.
Like he get excited. He get too excited, man. He get too excited. Like a dog.
It's unacceptable, dog. It's unacceptable, and this is where we are with it. You know, I thought it was a trap game because, again, the Raiders aren't without talent. We'll talk about Anthony Richardson and the Colts at some point, you know, this week. But Gardner Minshew almost took them to the playoffs. Gardner Minshew ain't no scrubbity scrub. Like, he can play football, and we better put some respect on his name. He didn't came into our crib 2 straight years and handed it to us. He did that. Devontae Adams, he did that. Brock Bowers, a rookie, dragging people down the field. He did that. Where is our offensive identity? You know, I talked about how everything's under center when we run the ball with Derrick Henry. So when we line up in single back or we line up in an I form under center and Derrick Henry's in the game, what do you think is going to happen, guys? Just take a guess. What type of play do you think is going to occur? I mean, that's what the defenses are saying. Oh shit, here we go. Single back. They running the ball.
I mean, you can get away with it if you had a decent offensive line, maybe.
Well, we used to get away with it because It was we know they know what we're gonna do, but they can't stop it, so we don't care. We don't have that ability anymore. We can't just go out and dictate what we want on the field anymore. This old line is ass. And it's not just a John Harbaugh discussion right now. Who allowed John Harbaugh to pick Ben Cleveland? Who is allowing John Harbaugh to make these draft decisions? And then we're sitting there trying to lift up Ben Cleveland like he's the magical elixir. John Harbaugh saying he's not good enough to play and beat out Daniel Falehi.
Is that 77?
Why are they our two options?
Yeah, 77 is the worst player I've ever seen in my life. I ain't gonna hold you.
Why are they?
About his name.
Why are they our two options? Right? Like, this is total mismanagement, malpractice. And as far as Lamar Jackson is concerned, I mean, people keep asking, why don't we push it down the field more? Why aren't we running play actions more? So on and so forth. Monken don't trust this O-line either. And there's only but so much Lamar Jackson can do. A lot of the times in the Chiefs game, when we did score a touchdown, it was off script plays. Nothing is in rhythm. Nothing is in timing. This offense is literally like there's no consistency to it, so we can't rely on anything from it other than Lamar Jackson's great. Harbaugh said it today. The only consistent player on offense is Lamar. I've been saying it for how many weeks now that the game plan is Lamar, please. Because that's what it is. Lamar, please save us. There's that doesn't give me confidence that we should be aggressive at any points. It really just tells me that this might be a punt year. The thing is, are we good enough to win a Super Bowl like the Chiefs don't in a punt year? Because last year was their punt year. They retooled. They got big boys now. They got big boy weapons now. Last year, they are well coached enough and great enough at the most important positions to win in a year in which they were dinking and dunking all year. And winning in which a year they had no verticality and no speed. Are we good enough and well coached enough to win in a year in which we have no O-line, in which we have a young defense? And shout out to Oweh, but I don't give a fuck what you do versus Gardner Minshew. Do it against Patty. Do it against Real Comp. We were supposed to beat them by 20 plus points. We were on our way to doing so, but we didn't. Why is that? It's Harbaugh. Is DeCosta for putting us in this personnel position? It's DeCosta for empowering Harbaugh to do the things that he does continually. It's Bisciotti for keeping Harbaugh because he's living off a 2012 Super Bowl. It's 2024. That's 12 years ago.
People get fired. You win championship. That don't mean you get a lifetime contract. Like,
it's all about coddling and no accountability, right? There's no, hey, John, you need to get better. Hey, John, your seat's going to be a little bit warm this year. We're tired of seeing this, and the third. It's, hey, my wife baked some cookies for you, and we're all friendly here, and we're all holding hands and kumbaya. That's not how accountability works in business or team sports or any type of field that you want to think about. That's not how it works. And if you continue to coddle and ignore and move forward without changing or attacking the root cause of issues, this type of shit happens. Losing to Gardner Minshew back-to-back years at M&T Bank Stadium. Good job, Ravens. You did it this time. Sko and the Steelers are 2-0. Unbelievable.
Yeah, disappointing. I think you and Keys covered it all pretty much, but just disappointing. You talk about lack of accountability. We had a running joke in the chat, but you saw what Monken said last week to the reporter. So soft. Like, it's right now in the castle and Ravens world, it's just everyone's comfortable. And right now we need people to be uncomfortable. And to go and watch that game yesterday, a game where you're the biggest favorite of the weekend, a game with about 12 minutes left, you got a 90% chance of winning. Another 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you squander it. Back-to-back weeks, you've outgained the Chiefs, you've outgained the Raiders, and they both end up in losses. So now you got to look at where's that start with? That starts with John Harbaugh. That starts with coaching. Year in, year out, this team is unprepared. They come out hot first three quarters, and then what happens in the fourth quarter? They're one of the worst pass defensive teams in the fourth quarter over the last year. They can't defend in the fourth quarter. Now, I don't think that's the reason they lost yesterday. But I said it week one. You can't put a hubcap on a Lamborghini. You just can't. And right now, what they doing to Lamar, we'd be lucky if we see him in October, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Y'all brought up John Harbaugh a lot, and this might seem like a rhetorical question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Is it time to move on from John? He's the second longest tenured coach behind Mike Tomlin, but like you said, 2012 was the last Super Bowl. We know in Baltimore what the standard is for y'all and expectations. Is it time?
Disappointing loss, tough loss. Could have gone our way for sure, but we didn't get the job done. 0-2. We are going to play a 17-game season, and we will be defined by the next 15 games. So that's going to be our objective, to play the best 15 games we can, be the best football team we can be. And if we do that, then we're going to have a really good season, have a shot to win a lot of games and get in the playoffs and make a run. So that's what we have to do. Big picture, short term, we got to go back and look at every little thing, continue to clean up the things that we know we can clean up and get better at, that make a difference in games, and we'll continue to work very hard to do that.
He didn't say anything. He literally said nothing. But I'm on record. Everybody listen to the show. Everybody watch the show. Everybody that knows me knows I'm on record to say John Harbaugh has to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like it's one of the things where now it's 2 seasons too late, 3 seasons too late. To your point, Keith, everybody's comfortable because Lamar made everybody comfortable because he's so good. You know, like he saved a lot of people's jobs. He's pretty much, this franchise was not going, you know, the way that it should have been going until Lamar Jackson got here. No, man, you can't challenge those 2 calls and, you know, and keep blowing these fourth quarter leads, these second half leads, and expect to have a job. Like, people keep on saying, oh, he won a Super Bowl. Like, you know, Boston fired Terry Francona, man, and he brought them their first championship in 100 years. Like, you don't have to keep these coaches around.
Bill Belichick got fired.
Yeah, you don't have to, you know, be, to your point, Nick, have kumbaya and bake cookies. Like, get rid of him. And it's sad to say as a Ravens fan, but at this point, you know, you want to win a Super Bowl, but what would you rather have? You know, I guess you would have a Super Bowl, but then John Harbaugh going to really have a lifetime job. So now it's like, all right, get me the 0-4 so he can get fired. Like, get him out of here. Like, you can't win with him. I've been saying this. Like, we've reached out Max on John Harbaugh. You cannot win anymore with him. He's a dinosaur to the game. He doesn't understand clock management. He really never did. And now it's just even worse because them 2 challenges yesterday were utterly ridiculous. They were utterly ridiculous. Like, it's not even, you know, you challenging it so you can, you know, if you challenge us, whatever, you win a game, we lose the game, whatever. Let's do it or whatever because this the game. No, it wasn't that for neither one. It wasn't that. You blew timeouts that you needed, that your team needed at the end of each half. You needed both of those timeouts.
He's doing it every week.
Yeah, and it's
did it last week too.
He do it every year. Like, it's a yearly thing with him. Like, it's a yearly thing. I just don't see it. I don't see, you know, you got Mike McDonald 2-0. Like, you know, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, John Harbaugh has to go. To answer the question, so he has to go. He should have been gone. He should have been gone. He's holding this team back, man.
So you say he should have been gone. So what's the underlying root cause? You remove John Harbaugh, does the problem remain? Because the people in charge of the coaching decisions decide that John Harbaugh is beyond reproach or beyond reprimand with some of you know, it's not just this season, like you said. How many times do we have to lose in the playoffs the exact same way? Mm-hmm. How many times do we blame it on Greg Roman and then blame it on Todd Monken? But John Harbaugh remains, and the people allow John Harbaugh to remain. How many times do we have to say this player sucks, but then you learn John Harbaugh had a key role in drafting that player? Then you have to ask yourself, wait, why does the special teams guru have all of this say-so in offensive line draft and fullbacks and so on and so forth? Who is giving him this empowerment? This ain't empowerment temple. He ain't Jamal Bryant. Who is giving Harbaugh all this clout and leeway to do what Harbaugh does?
The same people who traded Morgan Moses and let Zeigler walk.
Yeah, so it's not just Harbaugh.
Not protect the investment.
It's not just Harbaugh. Like we got rid of a line full of veterans, Zeitler, Moses, Simpson, replaced them with players that clearly aren't ready. And those players are homegrown. Who drafted them? Right? Who's drafted them?
We went from a wide receiver problem to an offensive line problem, dog. Like you can't make that up.
Still got the wide receiver problem.
I mean, it's way better than what it was. I give you that. It's decent. I'll take our weapons. I'll take our weapons. I ain't with it. I'll take it. We can get rid of Bateman. Actually, no, I did say we need a bona fide.
Did you see Nelson yesterday?
We need a bona fide number one. We do
not attacking the ball. Not attacking the ball.
Y'all not gonna not y'all. When I say y'all already know what's up. I'm talking about like Twitter and like the Ravens fans who are homers and stuff. Like people aren't going to sit there and sing Nelson's praises all off season on some kumbaya shit as if I haven't seen him his entire career. Like I wasn't there in that playoff game. Like me and Keith wasn't there in that playoff game watching shit fumble off his hands.
I see.
Like who do y'all think Nelson Aguilar is? Don't let Zay get hurt. It's a wrap. We're done. Don't let him get hurt. Don't let him get an ankle sprain, bro. Because then who are relying on at that point? And no, we can't just throw the tight ends every single fucking play. People going to close off the middle eventually, and they not the fastest of position groups. They tight ends. You're supposed to get them on linebackers and safeties. They're not supposed to be like the people you throw to every single fucking play and rely on. Don't let Zay get hurt. It's going to get real spooky because we can't even get the ball to Zay in rhythm. There's times where Zay is wide open for plays 20, 25, 30 yards down the field. Why can't we give him the ball? Because Lamar's on the ground. Because Lamar's running all over the place. Who decided that pathway? You get rid of Harbaugh, I'm with it. But who remains at that point? And what's the status quo that remains? We have to talk about how Eric DeCosta, most of his rookie class this year, was hurt. Was hurt. Inactive. We ain't getting a snap out of these people. I'm about to lose my cool. We ain't getting a snap out of these people.
And how big did we say this draft was for us?
I mean, if we're going to go
given
young,
Lamar's contract,
if we're going to go young like we did, we kind of need these young guys to play, right? And then why is it taking 3-4 years for our development pieces to actually develop into starting caliber players? And when I say starting caliber, to them, to any, I mean, Falehi is starting, so I guess he's starting caliber, but is he ready? No,
we don't need to be in the
we overrate our development. We overrate EDC's drafting, development, Harbaugh's development. We ain't about that. Lamar is the answer. The Lamar and the vet. Now, I'll give EDC credit. Last year, he was amazing when it came to veteran signings. I don't know why we stopped doing that. It seems like when you go to that well, we kind of did all right. Van Noy showed up yesterday. Like we kind of did all right with the veteran signings. We said, nah, fuck that. Nah, we don't need no vets. Like the team that just almost was on the cusp of the Super Bowl, we don't need no vets. Let's get rid of a good majority of them. Shit, we gave Lamar a past his prime Odell, and Odell was making plays for him. Said, fuck that. Fuck that. We got Nelson Aguilar and Bateman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you talk about 3 to 4 years to develop. I mean, you look at the Chiefs and their recipe, Trent McDuffie, rookie year, damn near all pro. Isaiah Pacheco, what he did, Rasheed Rice. I mean, the list goes on for a team that has a quarterback that gets paid a ton of money, and they had to fill it in with rookies, and they got it done. It was 2 quotes I took from John Harbaugh's press conference today. He said he's not aware of Zay Flowers getting less production in the second half.
Which is not watching the game.
Hold on.
Because he's not watching the game.
Hold on, Keith. To add to your point, the context behind that is Zay Flowers retweeted something on his Twitter, basically saying that he should have got the ball more in the second half.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was John Harbaugh's response. So I'll just throw that quote out there first, and then I'll throw the other one out. But to say you have no idea that your number one wide receiver is not getting come on. Like, how else can you not have no feel for the football game? And then the second quote he had is, by having more leads in the fourth quarter probably means that you'll lose more leads than most teams.
Huh?
Yo, come on, yo. Let's
What?
go to next. Let's go to
Nah,
next.
he didn't say that.
John Harbaugh said this.
Yo, stop playing with me.
He
Yo.
said this in the presser today. Yeah,
said if
these
you
are all
gotta-
quotes by our head coach of the Baltimore
said if
Ravens.
you
the
have
guy
a
who's
lead-
supposed to lead us to a Super Bowl, or who we still keeping around. Like at this point, it's a joke. Get him out of here. I'm tired of it.
Wait. He said if you have a lead, it's more likely that you'll lose it because you have
There's
it.
no accountability, man. He
Yo,
walk
you
around.
ever heard
he
something
walk
like
around,
that?
he's
I've
Teflon
never heard
John.
something like
worse than
that.
that's
Teflon
worse than
John.
Tomlinism
Now,
right there.
now the
That's
fact that
crazy.
you have so many leads in the fourth quarter probably lends itself to you're going to lose more leads than most teams. So I understand that part of it is the exact quote.
So why more leads in the fourth quarter mean you should win those games? Like why it don't make it, that doesn't make sense. And to your point, Scott, Tomlin say a lot of shit, but it makes sense. You know, it can relate. His shit relates to the actual game. Like I want animals. Like what was the quote? What he said? I want dogs. Like whatever he said. But you know,
Woe to sick him.
Yeah, that one. That relates to the game. That directly relates to the game. You telling me you got this guy up here saying that? Come on, man. I'm not even going to repeat what he said, but that makes no sense. That's like to what Nick said. That's malpractice. Seriously, that really is. Like you have no. It's like you're not there. It's like he's not there unless he had a crowd yelling to throw a challenge flag. So the only reason to do that challenge flag because they had the crowd. He had the crowd getting loud. That's really the only reason to do that challenge flag. He had no reason to throw
What do
that
you
challenge.
expect a home crowd to do?
Yo,
Right,
we all saw that ball bounce. We saw that ball bounce. Everybody saw that ball bounce. The only person that didn't see that ball bounce was John Harbaugh. He the only person that didn't see that ball bounce.
Lamar
And
told
we
him
didn't even
don't
talk
do it.
about the 4th and 1 where you put the tight end under center, and then you got Derrick Henry who have a split instead of just putting the ball in 8 hands and letting them hand the ball off to Henry and letting 8 go get the first down.
Because as a hit,
like why are we getting cute?
That's because as a head coach, even if you hit, that's what I'm saying. You have found him to say so on everything. Obviously, Harbaugh. We've been saying it's Harbaugh. Maybe he don't. But yo, if you as a head coach, you hear that call coming through the mic. That you go hand the ball off to Charlie Kolar and shit. No, why not put the ball in your quarterback hand or give it to Derrick? What are you doing, man?
And time out. Why do we keep putting mid in position to make decisions? You know, Harbaugh. If you look, his history of offensive coordinators. You know, it's never anybody that's innovative, top of their class. Somebody that pushes the needle forward or the envelope forward, so to speak. It's always guys like retreat guys, people that won't usurp his position on a team, right? So look at some of the names: Mark Trestman, Marty Morningweg, Todd Monken. Nobody's beating down Todd Monken's door, even after a great year in Georgia, in college. Cam Cameron, Greg Roman. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably keep going, but y'all know my brain. I have some fogginess up there. But yeah, man, it's really too much
goddamn John Harbaugh.
Oh, after yesterday, it was very foggy. But yeah, man. Yeah, listen. Why don't we have the best of the best coaching up Lamar? Like we talked about it over the summer. Could you imagine Lamar with a Sean McVay, a McDaniel? Shit, a LaFleur, I'll be happy with any LaFleur at this point. You know what I mean? Any McVay, any Cousins, Kubiaks. You see what they're doing in New Orleans.
God, I'm so
Clint Kubiak. Give me it again.
As much as
like when you say there's no other options out there, but John, it's options. It's always
Keith. As much as you hate the boy, if we had a Bill O'Brien offense right now, it'd be different. It'd be a lot different, man. Like as much as we hate Bill O'Brien, he can draw it up. It's a lot of players out. Why not? Why I hate that we got a special teams coordinator as head coach. Give me an offensive guy, or give me a defensive guy. I don't need a special teams guy. I don't.
And if you're going to be a special teams guy, put the best people in positions to inform you of decisions that you might not be well versed in.
Yesterday. Illegal. They lined up illegally on the kickoff or something like that.
Special teams has been horrible this year. And we haven't even talked about the fact that over the summer, didn't they hire an in-game coordinator for John Harbaugh and then decided to not make that hire after social media kind of started? Was like, yo, this nigga. Mm-hmm. It should tell you what it should tell you what we're dealing with. But we could put it all on John Harbaugh. At what point does Lamar say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit as a leader? And I'm not blaming Lamar. That's my guy. But I need him to start making more of a fuss, like because I know he's silently angry and mad as shit. I could see it in his eyes after that Bateman drop. He was looking like, yo, that's why I don't throw to you, yo. So I see the subtle signs of frustrations, but at a certain point, as the $200 million dude, you got to say, listen, Steve, I'm starting to get tired of this shit. I'm starting to get tired of it because these fourth quarter losses is going on my jacket. When they pull up my Hall of Fame resume and my stats, this fourth quarter shit ain't looking how it's supposed to. I'm giving people 10-point leads here, 15-point leads here, 20, and we letting it slip away repeatedly, season after season. Yep. When are we going to make it? Because Lamar can't do it by himself, and honestly, the players can't do it by themselves. But also, the players like, yo, when are y'all going to just say, enough is enough? Not even with the Harbaugh shit on the field. Roquan, where was Roquan yesterday? Did you hear anything about Roquan? I didn't. Where's Mr. Ray Lewis, who wants to talk?
I saw Brock Bowers going off there tight end. He was killing us,
dragging people like he didn't
play
in the league before.
Where's Marcus Williams?
Marcus Williams had one of the lowest.
Marcus Williams can't get fucking lined up. That's why he can't. He's never in the right place when he's supposed
to. His PFF rating was like, and I hate PFF, but it was in the 40s. That's not good.
Marcus Williams can't even get lined up right, though. He's never in the right position.
To the Raiders.
So
this ain't the Eagles.
Y'all on the defense. So let me just ask you.
We fired Billick for less. That's all. We fired Brian Billick for way less.
Yeah, we definitely fired Brian.
Y'all fired him for losing to Miami. Yeah.
Y'all fired Brian Billick for way less.
And listen, when we fired Billick, I'm sure there was people saying, if not Billick, then who? You know who we chose? You know who was? A special teams coordinator from Philadelphia.
Him and Jason Garrett. I remember.
I'm about to say Jason Garrett was number one. He said, "Nah, I'm cool." But y'all won the defense. Let me game 2, week 2. Feelings about Zach Orr at this moment.
I mean,
too early.
Listen, it's the jury star got to be out. They still not getting lined up the way they need to be lined up. I feel like they may be a little bit unprepared, but it's still early. And also, you guys think about it. If your offense keep going 3 and out, your defense gonna be tired, man.
They played well, and they played well enough to win football games. But again, when you have a offensive line that prevents you from calling the type of plays you want to call because you're not, you don't believe that they're going to be able to hold up in protection, it kind of stifles what you can do to maintain possession, right? So if I can't call this route because I know the line ain't going to protect long enough for it, maybe I can't get the first downs that I need to keep the defense off the field, to put another score on the board, to give us more of a cushion, to make them be able to be more one-dimensional offensively as far as the Raiders are concerned. If we score when we have chances to score, maybe they can't call the calls that they were calling, and they have to press a little more, which plays into our advantage. Maybe we can send more blitzes, and that's how football works. It's supposed to be complementary, but with this 3 and out shit, it ain't helping nobody. And again, it's Lamar, please. Anytime we score or get down the field is because something amazing Lamar has done, whether it's a read or a scramble or a play fake or just his presence on the field. It's not the play calling, and it's not the players right now. It's Lamar. So until we figure out how to allow Lamar to do what he needs to do to give us a better chance of winning, we fucked.
I need the national media to start calling for John Harbaugh head more, man. I don't hear it enough.
It's on Lamar's jacket now. Lamar's the reason we're 0-2 according to the people. I don't listen to this shit, but if y'all listen to the ESPNs and the Fox Sports and shit, what about Marlon? He's trash.
About the defense.
I'm sorry,
Marlon. All right, how do y'all? Because you mentioned it earlier about his podcast. I saw a clip. I mean, they were eviscerating Marlon on the way to his car. It was like, damn. And I know
it's no comment on that. You got some people got worried about their family though, more so than Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, that's
like, God damn, like he's been having bad games, but I mean, that was tough to see because it's like,
it's tough to see because in training camp it'd be different energy, amongst some of the type of people. It'd be getting my video, right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I saw Marlon get beat like that at training camp though. So
he was getting beat like that last year.
And the year before that.
And the year before that.
He's been trash, but we are supposed to be silent about it because they tell us, it's Marlon Humphrey. Look at what he's done throughout his career for the Ravens. It's Marlon Humphrey. Just like, it's Justin Tucker. I can't talk about the 1 for 7 because I was talking about it last November. Right. I got eviscerated on Twitter. How could you say that about Justin Tucker? Nigga, because he's missing kicks.
They killed us on YouTube for that video too.
Justin Tucker sucks. I mean, you can say, that's the problem. That's the problem. You can say that people that had a good career, that he's a Hall of Fame. He sucks.
I love Justin Tucker.
Like, he sucks now.
It hurts me that he sucks. He's Chris Boswell.
How many 50 yarders we watched go through the uprights yesterday?
He's Chris Boswell at this point. He'll make some 40. He makes some 49 and unders, but the 50s is iffy.
Nah, Chris Boswell's money for 50.
Since when?
A lot of 50 yarders go through the uprights yesterday.
And what'd you say? Everybody, I guess every kick in the league can make a 50-yarder but Justin Tucker now. That's what it seems
Carlson was the Raiders kicker was making them.
Everybody.
Carlson, yeah.
Everybody, literally everybody.
It's just, I mean, he was your secret weapon at one point. Like, it literally was like, yo, you can't let the Ravens get to the 50 in the fourth quarter.
But he's not just missing them. He's missing them bad. Like, it's like these things are.
Yeah, he got the distance on him. But
he's missing them bad. Like, he has no accuracy.
He got the yips now. He in his head.
Maybe if you stop the coddling and start some accountability, maybe things go a little different in the offseason as far as not bringing in a replacement, but maybe him just and I get him as the GOAT. He's the best kicker we've ever seen. I'm sure he has a high standard for himself. He's just not missing kicks and not trying to correct it. Let me not put it like that, but instead of saying everything's going to be okay, maybe there needs to be some attention to this matter because it's becoming a liability. We need those 3 points. We needed those 3 points in every game that he's missed them. Mm-hmm. That's why we're kicking
critical time. It just Justin Tucker missing the kick is different. Other field goals missing the kick because you expect him to make it, and now the whole minimum. People like they cheer when kickers miss, but when Justin Tucker misses
regular,
people cheer like they literally like they are excited when because they expect him to make it. So it's a different momentum, and like you said, he's not the same. We've been seeing it win or no win. He's not the same kicker that he used to be. And kickers get bad, kickers age, they get bad. That's what happens. That's what happens with every player. You start getting older, you're not as good as you were when you're younger. But he's built a career, and I'm sure that if you're a professional athlete, he's okay with getting criticized. Like if you're not good, you should be okay with getting criticized. He should be the first person to come out and say, "I have not been good. I'm not good right now." Not, let's rely on what he did 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Let's rely on what he gave. Nobody give a hell about what kicks he made in Denver. I'm thinking about what he did yesterday against the Raiders.
Yeah, can't live in the past, man. Hey, y'all mentioned Zach Orr. One thing I will say, I do want to give him rope. It's just sad that, like Mike McDonald had a veteran unit to play with. Remember Mike McDonald's first year, he struggled. The first few games, he struggled. I remember that Miami game early. It was a struggle. That was a fourth quarter loss. But he basically adjusted to the speed of the game coming from college. And, by the end of the season, McDonald was a plus to us. I hope and pray that Zach Orr is going to go through a similar trajectory. I'm just going to say it here, though. Mike McDonald had the luxury of having a veteran cohesive unit on defense last year that he got to coach up. We don't have a veteran unit on defense. Talented, you could say. Talented in the right positions, yes, you could say. But veteran unit, hell no. And you have to deal with miscommunications when you talk about inexperience. You have to deal with breakdowns and busted plays. How many times did you see people running wide open in the last 2 weeks? I'm talking about wide open. Devontae Adams dropped a pass. I didn't see anybody 10 yards in his vicinity.
Because Marlon playing one-on-one defense and going over top of the safety. How you playing one-on-one defense and you going? That means you so far back that you can't even jam. Like, come on, man, get Marlon Humphrey out. Like, get Marlon Humphrey out of here.
We need better safety play. Like, everybody just needs to get better, and we got to stop this in January. Talk or assuming that things are just gonna. A lot of people say it's only week 2. That is very true. It is only week 2, but you don't think conference games matter? This goes against the conference record. So if it's a tie-break situation, we're not helping ourselves here. 0-2, and then you have Dallas on the road, who's going to be a hungry team after being embarrassed in their home opener. The Bills come into town. People have been talking shit about the Bills. The Bills been looking damn good, and they look like a much better team than us right now. And then I believe the Bengals. who again on the road division game. I got Lamar in that matchup, but I can't even talk my shit no more because he might get killed too. You know what I mean? Because Patrick Mahomes, Cincinnati's defense was going off yesterday.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, like I said, you're starting 0-5 in the face, and it would not surprise me if they be 0-5. I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I gotta come in here, call Skull my big bro. Like, fuck that, man. Like, I'm hating shit right now.
It's all good. It's all good. But just remember, I love you though.
No, I love
Just
you too.
remember that.
But fuck you.
Always. I love it. That's a perfect way to go into the first commercial break. Nitty Gritty.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.
Let me invite y'all behind the winning curtain. Now, let me just say this. It's cool to be 2-0 because it's teams that don't have wins. So it is cool to be 2-0. But this does not come without complaints. This does not come without issues. So first, let me get the thing that I don't have an issue with. Defense, good job. Again, I'm not worried about that. Held another team again. I think it was under 80 yards rush. They got a couple junk plays in the passing game. Bo Nix had 246 yards. It busted coverage on one. They had to trick play to gain momentum, but outside of that, they couldn't really do anything. Patrick Queen, more active, but I still see things wise. Oh, that's why I used to talk about you. I'm still seeing that show up on tape, but he was more active, more around the ball. So I'll take that as it comes. Shout out to Corey Trice. He got his first interception. Good instincts for him to be basically a rookie. He didn't play last year. Good instincts, but I got to go to the offense. I got to go to Mike Tomlin. I got to go to Pat Meyer. I got to go to Arthur Smith. I'm watching that first half. This was a tale of two halves. I'm watching that first half, and we were dominant in the run game. Play action was working. But this is the second week in a row where every time Justin makes a big play downfield, it's a penalty. I mean, just like y'all, we were flagged 10 flags, 78 yards. All on offense. They erased first downs. This is not an offense that's high powered. We cannot afford to have 51-yard completions erased. We just can't. And it comes down to discipline. The offensive line, especially in the second half, played horrible. Mike Tomlin, this is where I got to ask you a question. Why the fuck did you think that a rotation at right tackle was a good idea? You already benched Broderick Jones. Let him sit over there. Don't coddle him because he's a first-round pick and say, well, nah, we'll rotate you in. Troy played great yesterday as a rookie against a guy who had 2 sacks last week, and Cooper. He played great. You take him out, insert Broderick Jones, 3 straight penalties. His hold was what negated the 51-yard dot that Justin Fields threw to George Pickens. We aren't good enough on offense to have penalties like that constantly bite us in the ass. Pause. You convert a third down to Calvin Austin. I'm going to talk about Calvin Austin a lot in this because I said last episode the need for wide receiver 2 was going to be apparent in this game, and boy, was it. But he gets open for a third down conversion, another hold. Najee gets an important 1st and 10 run, gets it to 2nd and 1, gets negated from a hold. So now you're playing behind the sticks. I don't know what Arthur Smith's game plan is, but it ain't to be behind the sticks. Yes, sir.
I saw you on Twitter talking about a lineman yesterday. Were these holding penalties?
Broderick Jones, 77. Seems to be a theme.
No,
in the show.
not 77. Come on, don't tell me that.
Yes.
And Bateman's number 7. God damn it. Man.
Yeah, sevens. And they supposed to be lucky numbers, man. They supposed to be lucky numbers, but yeah, because I started seeing the conversation pregame. Yeah, it's gonna be a rotation at right tackle. Whoa. A rotation at right tackle. Y'all had a rotation at right tackle. And it's, what are we doing? Either
that's not
play
smart.
or sit him. I don't like that decision. And the fact that Troy had a good game and deserved to be in, you take him out.
I heard
and boom. Crazy. Like, okay, he's worth the pick. Right? He deserves to play. Broderick Jones is not looking like he has the attitude of a first-round pick, and the talent is not looking like a first-round pick. Sit his ass. Sit him. This coddling of attitudes and egos, that definitely ain't the Pittsburgh way. That ain't the Pittsburgh way. Arthur Smith. I gotta watch the all 22. But I could count, it was a handful of times that 14 was not on the fucking field. That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. I don't care if you're running 13 personnel. Why is Scotty Miller out there? Are you fucking kidding me? Now, the stat sheet won't say what George was doing to Pat Surtain. He had Pat Surtain in hell all game. You gonna look and say he had 2 catches, 29 yards.
Nah, he had some plays.
He had some plays.
That's why PFF and all that. That's why the only thing you rely on is your eyes. He tore him ass up. He tore his ass up. Hell.
Why is he not on the field? We got important 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. They run the fade route to fucking Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is 5'7" on a good day on stilts. I love you, Calvin Austin. But what are we doing? Why? Luckily, Denver smacked him in the head and it was a penalty. But why is this even an option for Justin Fields? It's no window to dumping in a bread basket to somebody that's 5'7". Van Jefferson, you got a penalty. Cool. You got a penalty. Outside of that, between Van and Calvin Austin, 5 catches, 30 yards. What is that?
He almost caught y'all that 3 points before half too, dancing instead of getting down.
And it was ticky tack. I don't know. Did y'all see the pick play? They called. No,
that was a pick. It was a
pick.
The touchdown.
James Steratore, they wiped out the touchdown. James Steratore said he wouldn't have called it. When I saw it live, I said, because he didn't even look like he wanted to run a route. He just stuck his hands out.
I'm talking about that awareness at the end of the first half where they threw him across the middle and he didn't get down.
Yeah, didn't get down. Luckily, we were left with 1 second.
1 second, yeah, barely.
We were left with 1 second. But again, that's coaching. You gotta, when you get the ball, if that first move ain't there, get down, because we had 2 timeouts, so it wouldn't have hurt us if he didn't get out of bounds. We had 2 timeouts. But he thinking he Odell in his prime or Antonio Brown or some shit like that, and he's trying to get to the end zone. What they did to this receiver room is piss poor. And it's not going to be good enough. Yeah, it was good enough to beat Denver. But if you watch the second half of that game, Vance Joseph made an adjustment. Oh, they're running. They're physical. He put 6 in the box. And we said, okay, we just going to run it up the gut. Why?
Because Tomlin won.
Why? Again, and this is where Tomlin comes in. Bill Belichick said in one of these pregame shows, Mike Tomlin is conservative, and he's like that with everybody. And I don't know if people took that as a compliment, but I was like, damn. And that's coming from Bill, who he ain't had the best rosters the last 3-4 years, right? He's just conservative. He does the same thing against everybody. That can't be winning football. That cannot be against Bo Nix. Sure, 13 points is enough. You can't go into every game and say your defense be great. They're gonna be great, but the offense gets paid too, and they're gonna make plays. Are we gonna be able to answer those plays? No play action ran in the second half. Not one play action ran in the second half, and it worked in the first half. Why not? Jaylen Warren, his snaps increased. So you know what that tells me? If they put 6 in the box and they're getting pressure, throw a screen.
Swing it.
Throw a screen. It was the same shit. And if you didn't know any better, did Matt sneak his ass back in that box? Is he on that sideline? What's going on here?
It leads you to believe that was Tomlin, yo. The whole time.
It's the same. It like you said with Harbaugh. Like when y'all were talking, I'm like, yo, it's the same shit with Tomlin. It's a different offensive coordinator. And don't get me wrong, some of the concepts that they run is a lot better than Matt Canada. They're getting open.
It's different with y'all, but at least y'all find a way to win games.
Like, yeah, and that comes. Tomlin's a football guy. Like that's the difference. But the philosophy is kind of this. But the thing is, he can coach up a defense. So you can always say, well, who can you find better than Tomlin? At least he can coach up a defense. But offensively, he has that same mentality of I don't want somebody to usurp my position. Because I came in here, and who was the first offensive coordinator I said I want? Fucking Clint Kubiak. And what the hell is he doing in New Orleans? They done scored on 15 possessions. You know how many times they done had the ball this year? 15? 15 for 15 scored points.
With Derek
Mostly
Carr.
touchdowns. With Derek Carr, who's looking like prime Oakland Derek Carr.
Give him a
you got people. He's playing great. And I don't know, maybe
we
this
had
is like
that call, and we got to see it list.
Maybe this is like a Drew Brees, like when they drafted Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees said, oh shit, I got to turn up. They try and replace me. Maybe he saw what Spencer Rattler was doing. Say, oh no, I got to turn up. He going to take my I respect it either way. But back to the Steelers, it's the same stale shit. The same stale shit. Joey Porter Jr., switch your goddamn gloves if you're going to be so physical, man. It stands out. You have yellow gloves on the white jersey. We can see the hands. Ticky-tack or not, they're there. It's just like Brandon Stevens. I don't care if they're fighting. I see you. I see you being physical. They're going to call it every time, man. It's just the small shit. Now, the defensive, they didn't hurt us. But them offensive penalties got to get cleaned up because it was the same shit in Atlanta, man. And we about to go play the Chargers. And I know from firsthand experience, a healthy JK, when he sees a Steeler defense, he starts to smile. He gets hungry. And he's running the ball great right now. You can't have those same mistakes. You can't go and think that one touchdown is going to be enough. I don't know. I don't care what they have on the outside. I've seen JK go crazy on the ground and almost beat us single-handed. So it has to be better. Tomlin, you can't have the training wheels on Justin Fields. He can make plays down the field. Get him out the pocket. Get him in what he likes to do. So if he throws a pick, he throws a pick. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Yeah, I'd rather that than 3 and outs.
I mean, yeah, but so going forward, so you still want Justin next week against Chargers?
Yeah. Well, he's not playing. Russ, they already said Justin was the next 2 anyway. Okay. So Justin is starting against the Chargers. But come on, man. Come on. You gotta put him in spots to be successful. Like, you're not throwing out CJ Stroud and Lamar Jackson. Like, this is a guy who needs your help. Just like, help me help you. Help me help you.
Maybe that's their form of helping because they know he's not.
I know.
CJ
I know. They gotta scrap that though.
I mean,
with all due respect,
really,
they gotta scrap that.
He's winning right now.
He's winning. He's winning, and the plays that he's making downfield, he's making them. They don't count.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
This is the vision. Tom had this vision of Justin Fields. Him control the Justin Fields. These playing will end up being 2-0 start the season. This is the vision that y'all can win by and play with. And then eventually, maybe, like you said, later in the season, they'll take the trainers off. But right now, they don't need to.
Gotta be more disciplined.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hand the ball to Najee 2 times. You looking at 3rd and 2. Go get it, Fields. And that's what they're doing.
In the first half, he did it. He broke out for 16.
Because all them plays are Russ sacks, to be honest with you, Russ in there.
That's why I'm really, especially now, that calf strain not going nowhere.
Before the calf strain.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you just don't have the athleticism that Justin has. We've seen Justin take over games with his legs, where it's like, oh shit.
I mean, the one he got out yesterday, that was a sack. Like, and he escaped down the sideline,
16 yards.
Like 15. Like,
it was a 16-yard gain. That was on 3rd down. And to your Keith, last week you said Steelers fans, and they get emotional, and it's crazy. Everybody fans, it's like it's like 2 sides, right? And they say all I see is Kenny Pickett. I just want to say I don't want to hear his name. He don't play for us anymore. But I can guarantee you, Kenny Pickett wouldn't have done that, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
Kenny Pickett won these games. What you mean he wouldn't have done what?
No. Yo, Kenny Pickett lost to
Pickett would have beat the Broncos.
Thompson Robinson. What are you talking about? He lost to DTR. He lost to DTLR.
Bro, stop. You're being disingenuous right now.
How?
Bro.
Because I'm saying, Kenny Pickett won games. Kenny Pickett won game. He did. He did.
You heard it. You heard him, Nick, right? You hear him, right?
Again.
I'm
But
letting him
listen,
cook. It's
let
still
him-
review. It's still
Watch the
review. I'm
game.
letting him cook.
No, I
Because
mean, I mean, y'all 0-2. Just listen, right?
I knew that's where you was going with that. I knew that's where you was going with that.
I got it in my back. But there's no way that you can watch Kenny Pickett play football. Not
Come
even
on,
coach, just play
come on, Jim
football.
Harbaugh. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bo Nick sucks.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's not
Like-
good at all. He's not good at all.
That's
I'm
my.
not
That's
talking
my.
about Bo Nick.
I mean, back on the real stuff. So that's my only thing. I'm like, defensively, y'all look great. Offensively, it clearly is things
lot
left there.
to be
But
desired,
my thing
yeah.
is, what's going to happen when y'all start playing these better teams? Like
That's why
what's
I'm
going to happen when y'all
bringing
start
up
playing. Like the Chargers are a
Yeah.
better team, but it's still
Yes.
at home. It is a team that y'all should still beat. What's going to happen when y'all start playing the better team? That's what I need. That's what. So it's like, all right, cool. And I see why your temperature the way it is. Like, all right, we cool. We 2-0. But what's going to happen when the schedule gets thick? It might not. It might not be the same.
This ain't good enough. I'm not gonna sit here and act like 13 points. Yay. Nah, hell nah. Hell no. Not when you leaving at least 10 on the field. I don't know if that 51-yard completion leads to a touchdown, but it definitely leads to 3. And we got into the end zone and the penalty wiped that out. That's 10 points right there in the first half. 17 points in the first half from a Steeler offense. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, but that's my only point, Sco. Like you cling into like 1 or 2 or 3 plays in a game, and it's like any team can sit there and say, give me 1 or 2 or 3 plays back, we can talk about a different thing. But it's like y'all not consistent enough in that regard. But to your point,
that's why it hurts.
It's layers that can be added to it. But I think Tomlin is doing a good job managing Justin right now and not trying to put too much on the plate, and not asking him to not asking him to do too much, but putting him in a position where if they win, his career like he can build off of that. You know what I mean? So it's no, you don't have to take, in my opinion, you don't have to take the training wheels off right this second while you're winning and while you're playing these mediocre teams. Yes, y'all will need something more from him as you go forward, but address it at that point.
My thing with the training wheels is that he's showing you that he can make the plays downfield. No, I'm not saying be Ben and call the offense all at the line of scrimmage on your own, right? I'm not saying
he
that.
Can definitely make plays, but
he can make the plays down the field where it's like, all right, why are we straying away from what worked?
Because it's a ball control type of thing. I mean, we talking, we AFC North.
Yeah.
We've been here before, playing good defense, winning close games, not letting the quarterback do too much.
And to Keith's point, you can do that against Bo Nix. He sucks.
Horrible.
It's fine. But you know how I see that? Show that you can do it. Don't just say, all right, let's just get out of here. That was a game where you could say, all right, treat it like a preseason game that count.
But
for lack of better words,
you made the point. Like Van Joseph made adjustments. Like that's Denver defense not bad.
They're not great, but they're not bad. And he made the adjustment. Arthur Smith, where was yours? And it seemed like Tomlin said, "Yo, just run the ball. We up. They can't score on us. Fuck it." I don't like
y'all best bet is continuing to allow him to build his confidence and his continue letting him play in the system and just win games and get that good vibe and mojo. And then, middle of the season, see what you got there. Let it rip.
It's tracking that way. It just pissed me off yesterday because it was so undisciplined with the penalty. That's why, because they were there. It wasn't like he wasn't making them.
It happened.
It happened. That's my thing. It's not like it's not happening. I'm seeing it happen. They just don't count. And that's what's pissing me off because that's coaching. And we're supposed to be better than that. This offensive line is playing better than what I expected.
Not supposed to be better than that, but I'm letting you.
No, we're supposed to be better than that. Like, you can't beat yourself when you look. We know what this offense is, right? You can't beat yourself within that.
I got you.
Because now the offense that isn't high powered is in 3rd and 19. You just giving up.
Y'all can't be in third and
nah. You 3rd and long, 2nd and 15, 3rd and 19, 3rd 20. Now it's like, all right, fuck, this is a wasted drive. So that's the frustrating thing. We'll talk about the Chargers more on Friday, but yeah, I just need to see more discipline. And Nick, to your point, I'm not saying just snatch them motherfuckers off now as far as the training wheels, but it's a gradual thing. It's a gradual
2-0. and the
Yeah,
vibes that are
I'll
being
take that.
created right now for
It's good
him
vibes.
and the team, you
Yeah.
can't beat it. You know,
Two
you're
and
putting
oh
yourself in a good
road
position.
wins, Nick. At that,
Yeah, they road wins. They
two
road
road
wins.
wins.
They road wins.
And it's,
We
you know, I
starting
mean,
on the
and we
road.
all been
So,
we all been in Pittsburgh. We know how hard it is to win in Pittsburgh.
yeah. So, like I said, that's why I started. I'll take the 2-0 for sure. I'll take the 2-0, especially because two teams that are supposed to be ahead of us don't have any. So, hey, let's just live in that right now. But I'm also used to a different brand of football, and I can see it where, like, hey, we leaving shit on the field. We leaving shit on the field, and we can capitalize on that and really show people, like, oh shit, Justin ain't an all-pro, but he's better than what we thought. That opportunity is there. Hey, this offense isn't the Chiefs. It isn't whoever. But hey, if you get that defense 20 points, it might be like it might be night-night. It might be night-night. So that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see moving forward.
Well, we'll have the opportunity. It'll all prove itself on the field. I am curious how the schedule is going to look, and you know how you guys look against different opponents. You guys got some light opponents, but you guys are doing an excellent job just beating who's on your schedule right now, and that's what y'all supposed to do.
Yeah, like I said, starting out, we got hell on the back end where y'all's is kind of mixed in. Like y'all about to go through a hella stretch now. Our hella stretch is at the back end. So, like I said, going into week 9, you needed to like have 5-6 wins before it gets crazy. You're not even gonna give yourself a chance if you walk into week 9 and you can't beat Bo Nix and you can't beat these teams. Well, you got the Colts where it's like Anthony Richardson. He makes plays, but he's inconsistent. That's a team that you can take advantage of. They can't stop the run. That's a team that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, y'all might run some back. Y'all might run some back against Indianapolis, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like those are the games where you don't take them lightly, but that's a game you gotta win because after the Commanders, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, you got the Browns, you got the Eagles, you got the Chiefs. Yeah, you got to stack this shit up now, and it's there. It's there to have. It's there to have it, but you just can't go into these stadiums and say 13 points and TJ, Alex Smith, and Haas Smith, and all y'all go make a play. They're gonna do that regardless. But
so out of the Chargers, Colts, Cowboys, Raiders, Jets, and Giants, how many wins are you expecting out of that 6-week stretch? Like from there, are you going to be, you add the 2 wins you already have? What's your prediction?
So realistically,
home Chargers, at Indianapolis, home Dallas, at Vegas, home Jets, home Giants.
I'm gonna show some respect to the Jets. I'm gonna show some respect to Dallas.
Yeah,
those could go either way.
Yeah, that was my
those could go either way. Those other 3, they have to be wins.
Okay.
As I'm standing right now, they have to be wins. Again, we're gonna talk more about the Chargers. The offensive line has to hold up. They got 2 bookends too. They got Khalil Mack, they got Joey Bosa. They got guys that make plays. But the way George Pickens is playing, I'm gonna take him over anybody. But you gotta keep him on the field. That's egregious. That's egregious to me. It's crazy.
Yo, letting a team beat you with Calvin Austin as the 2 and just beat you with like a couple plays down the field, that shit is crazy. Must be
that
nice.
an indictment on Sean Payton? Like, I know you didn't like Russ as a person, but
Sean gotta go, bro. Sean gotta go.
Like, yo, you pay him $37 million to go.
That he wasn't as smart as we thought that he portrayed himself to be. Like,
you can see when Drew Brees declined, everything started. It was like, oh, who made who here? Because his talent is gone. But
and Drew Brees had talent. He just had injury issues, and nobody believed in his comeback.
I'm talking about once he got old towards the end of.
No, I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting credit for Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees wasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Drew Brees was a talented quarterback.
Yeah, he was a talent. Yeah, he was.
That's why he got a contract.
Exactly. Yeah, he just tore a shoulder out the bone, and it was like, yeah, we don't. So y'all took a flyer, but it's not like you took a flyer on.
Y'all didn't take a flyer on the bad shoulder alone. You took a flyer on the talent.
If that shoulder's good, we good. So you took the flyer on that, but let's move on to the Chiefs and Bengals. That's always a great game. Came down to the last field goal. Chiefs pulled the win out, 26-25.
Thank God.
That would have been tough for y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Joe Burrow, 23 completions, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 18 completions, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm sorry to forget it. Like they Cincinnati just plays them tight. Like they had a chance to win the game. A lot of people say they should have won the game, but you left Pat Mahomes. You gave Pat Mahomes the ball last, and that's usually what happened. Pat Mahomes get the ball last. Each team usually win the game. Shout out to the Bengals for showing up because I think a lot of people wrote them off going into Kansas City, and they 0-2. So let's not talk about it too much. They still 0-2. I don't know who they play next, but they played well enough to win the game. Say they gave Patty the ball last. I think my biggest takeaway from this game is that Pacheco hurt. That's a big loss for them. But we'll see. We'll see how he. Usually Andy Reid don't take long to refill or restock for these next 6 to 8 weeks or whatever.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, so we'll see. Thinking that.
Right. We'll see how they adjust. We'll see that, but it was a good game. I appreciate it was a good game, especially after that damn Ravens game. So it was definitely a good game, and I could not have taken the Bengals being 1-1 would have went at the Chiefs show. So it's like as much as you can call me a hater if you want to. I'm happy they 0-2 with us. Fuck that.
Nah, I need them right down in the cellar with us, man. You know what I mean? It makes me feel a little better when I wake up. Like, damn, I'm 0-2. Well, at least some niggas 0-2 too. But shoot. The Bengals should have won the game. Bengals should have won the game. And that's to Key's point, that's one of those situations where, just one particular team might have another team's number. I think the Chiefs, their kryptonite might just be the Bengals, just because the Bengals approach it, how they approach it. I don't know if it's coaching, but it's starting somewhere. Zach Taylor, has those guys going into any environment against the Chiefs, whether it's home or on the road, thinking that they're going to come away with a victory, and they play like it. For whatever reason, the Bengals defense just starts to turn into a different type of defense when they play Patrick Mahomes. It's kind of eerie, how much he's kind of not been himself versus that particular team. Burrow outdueled him. I don't think anybody's going to, take any, I don't think there's any takes to make from that other than, football is a team game, and, the Bengals defense has the Chiefs offense number, and it's very surprising. Chiefs do what the Chiefs do. They find a way to win. And that's just a measure of great coaching, great culture, a great organization, and an organization that's continually committed to winning and recognize failure, right? So even when they lost the Super Bowl, they came back, made adjustments, and started winning again. This is something that we should take notes, with as far as Ravens fans. Like, the Chiefs, we want to be that feared team that teams don't want us to have the ball last. As opposed to Mike Tomlin said, they're saying, just hang in there with the Ravens. They'll find a way to fuck it up and piss on their leg. We don't want to be known as that team, but right now that's our reputation. Shout out to the Chiefs for, just being the boogeyman of the NFL. Even when they play bad, they win.
Yeah. So the Bengals next couple games, Commanders, Panthers, Ravens, Giants. So they got a favorable stretch. They got a favorable stretch.
That is nasty, dog.
They got a favorable stretch coming up.
That is nasty, dog. Like, that is so nasty. Like, what?
You got a Commanders team. They got to win, but they got a rookie quarterback, so you always got to worry about that. You got a Panthers
they got them on Monday night.
Yeah, you got a Panthers team.
These guys were on my Dallas trip, yo. I don't even want to go no more.
Yeah, so they got a favorable stretch coming up. So we'll see how they
What was Zion do?
Mariah.
What was I gonna do? This crazy, dog.
What would he say? Mariah, we hot like fire.
That's what he say. Suck on it like a pacifier. What he say?
Yeah.
Old dirty bastard.
No, that's not how it went. That's not.
Not be called old dirty bastard right
Hey,
now.
you know what? Zion and ODB are more alike than they are different, low key. All right, just to cap out the North, we don't have to talk about this game, but the Browns did get they got a win against the Jaguars.
Even the Browns, Nasty Man has a win.
Nasty Man got a win. Wasn't the best in the air, but he did get the touchdown on the ground.
Oh, he got it on the ground, didn't he? He got it on the ground.
Yo, we gotta start talking about Trevor Lawrence too, man. Like in the Jaguars, like I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe I don't know, but they, to play like that to score 13.
Yeah,
I think that's what we got. That's what we got to start talking about with them.
But we've been talking about him low key on here for a minute. It just hasn't came all together
because he had weapons. He's had more than.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is a fucking
Brentley, Kirk, 18. He had Ingram.
Ingram didn't play, but he has Ingram. Yeah.
Listen, Keys. When do we start talking about Dougie P?
Could be him too.
Yeah, man. You're right. It
could be a little bit of both.
It's not his first job, and it wouldn't be the first time he got fired. So.
Is that the problem? The way
he got fired. Right. He got fired for a reason, right? I mean, he got fired for a reason.
Yeah, and they went to the Super Bowl together.
Right. Yeah, he got fired for a reason. So, it's just stale. And
was he the coach in Indianapolis? Who's that coach? Who's that coach that got fired from the Colts for losing with Carson Wentz? It was a different coach.
It wasn't. It was.
What's your call? Frank Wright.
Frank Wright.
They all look the same.
Frank Wright, Dougie P.
Frank Wright. Same thing.
Frank Wright and Doug Peterson do some resemble each other.
Ain't they from the Andy Reid tree, right?
Mm-hmm. Doug, we got. I mean, like I said, who the Jaguars got next week? We can move past this for real.
Yeah. Y'all can look that up. I'm gonna move on to this Bucks and Lions, and y'all can say that real quick. Bucks, after being a 7.5 point underdog going to Detroit, not a surprising win. They win 20-16. Baker Mayfield, Buffalo. Oh shit!
Monday.
Yeah,
staring 0-3 down the barrel.
It's like
Baker Mayfield.
Next week.
It's 2 Monday night next week.
Yeah, Bengals, Redskins, and then Bengals Commanders. I'm sorry, then the game that y'all just said.
Jesus, why? Baker 12 completions, 185 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Jared Goff 35 completions, 307 yards, 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
good win.
I mean, we got the Bucks, man. Baker Mayfield. We talking about this last year, but that's a hell of a win for them to lose, to get swept by them last year, and then them end your season last year, and to go in there and play the way they did. But we talked about it. Keith and Nick talked about it all last show, pretty much. We got to start talking more about Todd Bowles, man. For real, like we got to give him his flowers, because the fact that he took Baker Mayfield don't read it, and that defense is crazy. Even without Antoine, we talked about them not having Antoine with football for the game, and the fact that they gave him all that yards, but they held him to 16 points on the road. That offense held him to 16 points at home. Shout out to Todd Bowles and the Bucks, man. They playing some good football right now. They playing some winning football.
Baker Mayfield is playing like an MVP too, and that should not be understated. He's been playing his literal ass off, and as much as we criticize, coming here, got to give it up when players earn that, and he's earned that.
Yeah, playing winning football for sure. And I'm kind of happy for him. I'm kind of happy for him. It didn't, but you like to see people.
Shit, right? Shout out to him.
Yeah. You like to see people redeem themselves, because I mean, he had 3 stops before Tampa. Like, he was looking like a journeyman 5 years into his career. That's the number 1 pick. So good for him. Hey, it's top play time.
Shit! Did you see that?
Now I'm gonna go first. Cue me up. I'm going to the Raven game. Here we go. We got Gardner Minshew, porn stash, getting out of the pocket, throwing the Tay Adams on the sidelines, Tony toe tap. This was a play that John Harbaugh challenged. Don't know what he's looking at. I'm gonna give him my glasses for next game. But beautiful. Look at this. Look at that. Can't teach you more better than that.
But you didn't pick a play from the Steelers game? No offensive play from that?
You know why? Because it didn't count. But I was. Don't give me that much credit, because I damn sure was, but it didn't count. It didn't count. I'm like, no, I can't come in here and say it's the top play and it didn't count, because I'm going to get killed for that. So I said, you know what?
You thought about it?
I know my guys. I know for sure. Did you see it? That was a great play. Like, no bull. But I'm like, it didn't count. I can't say that's the top play.
I give it to Fields. He knows how to get it to his number 1 target. Like,
that's the problem. I think his eyes are stuck on George, because it's a couple.
And then nobody else to throw to.
No, Pat was open a couple times yesterday, But I don't blame him. Outside of
Yeah,
Pat
it's
and
like-
George,
right.
it's nothing. Outside of Pat and George, it's nothing. It's,
DJ Moore looks like he. DJ.
yo, dog, I saw that. And ding.
Caleb
Hit
Williams,
him.
man.
I
Caleb
don't know if they
Williams.
like him that much in that locker room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Caleb?
Like, it seems
No.
like he's full of himself.
You know why, yo? Because when CJ was talking to him, it looked like he ain't want to hear it. And it's like, nigga.
He just too arrogant looking.
Yeah, it's like, I'm cool
You
with
ain't
arrogance.
Jordan. You
I'm
gotta
cool
be
with
Jordan
arrogance.
in that when you're
Right. I'm cool with arrogance. I'm cool with being cocky, but you gotta deserve it. Yeah, you won last week, but it wasn't because of you. It wasn't because you had 99 yards. Like, no, it ain't because of you.
the furthest.
Like, you got a prize pick. You got a prize pick promotion for 1 yard. And it's like, yo, is he gonna get that 1 yard? You win if he gets 1 yard. No promotion. We're not getting paid for that shit. I'm just saying. 1 yard, and he had 99. Like, damn. You got niggas sweating on the ticket, right? So if CJ is coming to you trying to kick game, the reigning rookie of the year, receive that in a positive way, my brother. Keys, your top play.
Mine come from that Bengals Cincinnati game. I mean, the Bengals Chiefs game.
Look at that.
That was. I really thought when he hit that, I was like, oh, they got all the momentum now. Like, you know, they, like you said, like Nick said, their defense for some reason just get like Pat Mahomes don't do nothing like that against anybody else. Throw picks but the Bengals, yo. He does that. Like that first pick he threw when he just didn't see the linebacker. That only happened against the Bengals. That happens against nobody else. But talk to Taylor Britt, man. I just like when players I like when players trash talk. I'm cool with that. But you got to be able to back it up. And the fact
Get the context. Get the context.
In the back, you know, he went out last week, whatever. He talked about Worthy and said, you know, he's just fast or whatever. So and he locked him up a couple times, and then
the fact that
he just runs straight. That's it.
And the fact that he made that play like that, add the back up, that's a hell of a play. That was a hell of a play.
I damn sure thought
Worthy
Worthy
only
was
had
gonna
like
run
2
straight
catches,
past him.
20-something yards.
Yeah, so
That's one of those. That's one of those like in basketball. You say like, "Yo, that man can't guard me," and then you go out and give him 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
That was kind of that.
Yeah,
2 catches,
damn
17 yards.
That was the Bengals defense played to your point. They played well enough, definitely to win the game. That was a hell of a catch so far. That's best interception.
Early play of the year. Yeah, that's early play of the year.
That was crazy. One hand that like that.
Nick,
yo, give me Balenciaga Bateman, man. Again,
Rob
we talked about this play earlier, but I believe this was a game-changing interception by Rob Spillane. And Rashad Bateman, for all the noise around your name, man. These are plays you gotta make, yo.
My nails.
They can't be fumbling off your nails, yo.
He just looked at him too. That's crazy.
He probably broke it. Like,
Shouts out to Rob.
You're gonna have to go to the technician.
What they call him, like a little French press, something. What they call them when they
French tip? I don't know. I'm a man. I don't know.
I allegedly have paid for a couple French tips in my day.
Got one of them things.
Hey, shout out to Rob Bateman picking off Lamar Jackson.
Crazy.
Like that's a thing for him. Picking off Lamar Jackson. Shouts out to Rob Spilley. I like that. Hey, he's a lot better than when he was with us. Shouts out to Rob Spilley. He plays good football for the Raiders. Antonio Pierce, good job coaching him up because we couldn't do it. Good job. Keith, top play.
I'm going to Detroit. Cookie Mayfield put his foot in the dirt and told him,
yeah. Oh,
no,
where you going, Rodrigo?
He did it again.
Rodrigo.
He did it again. Hold on. He did it again on the next on the next move. He did it again when he got in the end zone. I was watching that shit. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
We
was like, Dad, there go Baker overs. Everybody who bet the under.
Right, done.
Salute to Baker, man.
Yeah, Baker looking like Barry Sanders in Ford Field.
Unbelievable, yo. That linebacker who missed that, like who got shook like that by Baker, because that's his one move. I don't know if y'all have seen him scramble before, but when he puts that plant leg in and does the shimmy, like he does that all the time. I don't know how you get fooled by Baker doing that at this point.
That's tape, right? That's tape. You gotta all right.
Not by Baker. That's not Lamar.
Right. That's Baker. That's inexcusable. All right, man. Biggest takeaways from week 2 that we didn't get to.
I'm tired of saying it. You know?
I'm sorry, yo. I'm sorry.
You over there glowing and shit. Like fuck.
Black Boy Joy. I'm sorry. Black Boy Joy. I'm sorry.
I'll
just say real quick, yo, Sam Donald, another, you playing you're playing great. You're playing great, man. 2 weeks. You're playing good, man.
That was definitely one of mine. The start to the Vikings, whatever, playing great. But mine is just Kyler Murray is a goddamn thrower of the football, boy. Like when I see Kyler Murray, when I see Kyler Murray, like he can throw the ball, dog. If he got an offensive line, he got some weapons there. Yo, Kyler Murray is, and you have been saying this for a couple years now, Nick. He nice. Like the way he can get out the pocket, and he can run more than he run. He just doesn't run because he can throw the damn ball any way he wants to. He has the arm strength from the beat. That's why I won't hear anything about Bryce Young, because he got the arm strength.
Exactly,
he got they did the same side, and he can see the field. Like that touchdown pass yesterday in the back of the end, not the one to Higgins when he got out the pocket and just tossed it across his body, the back of the end zone. It landed perfectly in. I was Kyler Murray is that. I'm not going to say too much. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much many bad things about Kyler Murray.
He was getting killed. He was getting killed for having an ACL injury and then coming back and you're supposed to give grace coming back from injuries like that. And he played well last year. I mean, and before he got hurt, he was throwing the lemons with no offensive line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like people, the narratives don't match reality, bro.
Breaking news: do we know Debo was out? Too?
Yeah, I just saw that.
He got hurt.
Strain calf. He got the same thing Russ got.
My fantasy team is done.
Yeah, I see. It's terrible.
That's
bad.
All right, Sco. See?
I lost last week, but I done already. You know when fantasy is great? When you got one player left and they don't, and you already winning.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good
like, I love that. I wish I could bench him. I wish I could bench him. Like, you ain't got to play, yo.
I did that last week with McCaffrey. I was like,
I used to do that.
I don't even need to.
Yeah, B. John, I don't even need you tonight. On my ticket, I need you. On my ticket, I need you.
Puka, Kenneth, and Debo all gonna miss weeks for me, probably.
That's tough. Like, damn.
Yeah, I got Cooper out. Well, this league.
It's one of them years. But to piggyback on the Kyler point, how they got Marvin Harrison Jr. involved, all of that, he's not fast. Mm-hmm. Don't matter if I'm fast. I'm going to run past you. Arizona once had a wide receiver. His name was Anquan Bolden. He wasn't fast. He was very successful in his career. You just got to be good at the position.
This is why people got to stop getting their football takes off of Twitter unless it's from Nitty Gritty. You know what I mean? Like, why are you sitting there criticizing him not getting the ball to Marvin Harrison? Obviously, there was coverage bracketed to Marvin Harrison, and there's other reads that were open.
People was really saying that?
Bro, yes. They were killing Kyler.
Yeah, they was killing Kyler.
They said all he did was
at the one game.
He said,
Marvin Harrison.
Well,
man.
They judged the one that he was wide open on, but they neglect to mention that Kyler was scrambling the opposite way.
Well, I ain't never seen a bigger FU than I seen week 2. Obviously.
Oh, that was definitely a FU game. That was definitely a FU game.
Did you see what he tweeted after the game?
Who Kyler?
Little yawn emoji, like, yo, this is regular shit.
Like
his big thing is health. He just gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, that's everybody's big thing, though.
But I mean,
we came on this show a couple times. He
little at that quarterback position. Like he just
Lamar, biggest thing is staying healthy.
Right.
Yeah,
we came on here a couple times when it was up in the air if Kyler was going to stay, if he was going to be a target that we would go after. My main thing was, can he survive the North? And it wasn't talent, though. It damn sure ain't talent. That talent is there. I mean, since we talking about little quarterbacks, Bryce got benched.
Yeah, man, but it's time for that though. Like I don't know if he should be benched forever, but he can't play. He can't. Listen, you gotta give him another. I guess he's no one pick. I guess you give him another chance. But
I'm not
right now. No,
I'm scarred from Kenny. Right don't you take that shit a week further.
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't play him, but as a Carolina franchise, you can't not play. You can't give you no one pick only one chance.
Bad goods.
To be fair to Bryce Young, what it might be time for is him to be a coach at Alabama.
You starting high.
Yeah, have y'all seen? He's missing reads. There's people wide open. He's missing reads.
The thing that
on in the double coverage,
and it's what they said in college that would make him great in the league. It ain't translating. It was accuracy, arm talent, none. Like what they lied about Kenny was
they lied
accuracy, and they did not follow him. Some people peak in college. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to live.
Some GMs fuck up.
Yeah, you got to live with the fact that you drafted a 5-7 quarterback.
On this too.
But that leads to my biggest takeaway, Sco, from the weekend. You said Bryce Young, but just an inadequate play from some of these young quarterbacks. I'm looking at Will Levis in Tennessee. I'm looking at Anthony Richardson. I'm looking at Bryce Young. I'm looking at Caleb Williams. It was a couple years ago. I mean, rookie quarterbacks was coming in, they starting day one, and they were producing for all intents and purposes. These guys are looking like now maybe they need that red shirt year that year in the NFL to kind of just sit back, because the way Caleb looks in that offense, they looked a whole lot better with Justin Fields last year. Now, granted, he's 2 games in his first 2 games in NFL, but no offensive touchdowns from the guy who's supposed to be
the next.
They was calling him the next Pat Mahomes at one point. Like, but I talked about Caleb Williams last year. I saw him against Notre Dame, a pro defense. He didn't look good.
Nope.
I talked about it. He didn't look good. He didn't move the ball when he got out the pocket and tried to create, throwing across. You can't throw across the middle at this level. They too good. They too fast. You can't get out the pocket and do all that. They too good.
You got to have
the tackles to take you down.
You got to have the humility to know that you don't know everything right now.
Yeah.
Too. And I don't know if he's exhibited any humility to learn and get better at his craft. He thinks he knows everything, so let his ass get beat up and figure out on his own.
Will Levis,
you got it.
Why are you throwing the ball 7 yards behind you? Like, he got cussed out by his coach, by Bill Callahan.
Now Brian Callahan's been going in.
Brian Callahan, I'm sorry.
He said,
he got cussed out by his head coach yesterday.
What the fuck are you doing?
He got leaned in the post game presser too.
Yeah, I like it.
He kept going.
I liked it.
So,
he said, "Yo, he made the same mistake last week, and he did the shit again." Like, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Like,
if you signed Mason Rudolph, play him. I'm with Keys now.
1 week, at least 1 week.
I ain't got to worry about it no more. Put that motherfucker in.
At least 1 week. At least 1 week. Yo. You got to do it for 1 week. You can't make two bad decisions back to back.
I love Mason Rudolph now.
3 interceptions yesterday against the Packers. Like, we just
saw
the Eagles do whatever on them. Like.
Right.
So it's been bad quarterback play from some of these young guys, and it's got to be better if their teams are going to go down the line. I mean, Jaden Daniels had over 280 yards all purpose yesterday in the ground. His team got a win. Shout out to him getting his first dub. But outside of that, and I mean, you could say he really not even getting down. Like, he's going to get killed if he don't start getting down. Like, he got to stop taking these hits too. Watching him get bent like a pretzel yesterday. Like, he's got to learn to get down.
Pause.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Hey,
you good for 1 a week.
Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors had a
game. He had a big drop yesterday. Big drop.
He had a big drop, but he played great.
He did. But
here's a takeaway:
10 for 127 and a tutty. Yeah, he had a big game.
Here's a takeaway: passing touchdowns through 2 weeks: 2019 105, 2020 110, 2021 110, 2022 105, 2023 86, and 2024 and pending Monday Night Football 66 passing touchdowns thrown. So I don't know what that says, but it might say defenses are catching up to modern offenses.
I'm seeing that, and how teams are leaning on the run again. It's refreshing. I hope the running back gets paid, because it seems, run that rock. I mean, you saw Green Bay solely won because they rushed for like 250 yards.
Yeah, Joe.
If Anthony Richardson ain't ass,
Malik Willis,
you put pressure on Malik Willis to have to throw the ball. Like, the fact that they didn't even have to throw the damn ball.
It has to.
It's an indictment on Anthony.
League and rushing. Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I saw that stat too, Nick, and it makes me feel a little better, because it's like, oh wait, the NFL is catching up to our offense. Wait.
No, to your point, if that's the case, then playing defense, ball control, and time of possession is going to lead to good things more times than not.
I guess Tomlin's a genius after all, right?
Yeah. My last one, Nico Collins, a dog, 8 receptions, 135 and a tutty.
Jesus,
big time.
Nice. Yeah.
When they finally figure out how to get Tank Dell included with them, it's going to be even scarier for Houston.
And right now everything's not on his arm. Like, CJ just make the plays that's there, and then you can lean on Joe Mixon.
Is Mixon out? But is Mixon out? He came back last night.
He came back.
He came back. Okay. I know he got rolled up on last night.
Yeah, he got hip drop. Hey, league, y'all made it a point. Gotta call it now. I've seen a couple that weren't called throughout the league these last 2 weeks. You gotta call it.
Cooper Kupp looked like a hip drop a little bit. You know what I mean? At the hip, and then fell on his ankle.
Yeah. Y'all made it a point of emphasis. You gotta call it now.
Fucking up my fantasy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anybody got running back for me? before we get out of here? Anybody got a running back?
Meet me in the chat, so we might have to make some business. I need some wide receivers. I need everything.
Which one? Which league?
The Nitty.
Yo, hey Keith, I don't know who did this, but they gotta recognize that I'm a champion and I'm always in the playoffs. So for whoever tried to trade me a kicker for Calvin Ridley, don't ever disrespect me like that again. I don't know who it was. I don't know. It was in our league. It was in our league. But I effed up and I didn't play Calvin Ridley. I started Jackson Ojigba. Cry 2 days in the bucket, right? They both had good games. Yo, I looked into the proposal. That shit said Kyle Fairbairn for Calvin Ridley. I said, y'all.
Kyle Fairbairn, he killed me in the Nitty League. He got like 17 points last night.
Like, yo, do y'all know who I am? I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? But yeah, I just gotta put that fly out. If you're listening, I love you. Don't ever do that to me again, please. It's disrespectful. Let's go to the last commercial break. Nitty Gritty. Hey, yo, Nitty Gritty Sports Talk is now on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And while you at it, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Name the same across all platforms. Nitty Gritty Sports Talk. 3 Ravens and a Steeler. Now let's get back to the show. Good show, fellas. Good show.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Appreciate everybody that listens live, everybody that checks out the podcast. If you're with us on YouTube, keep liking, rating, commenting, and subscribing. We'll be back Saturday morning. Y'all stay safe and be blessed. Maybe.
These niggas keep losing. It's like, no.
If not, I'll be here. My curtain is welcome. My curtain is welcome if you want to win a little bit. My curtain is welcome. All comers. It's an ugly curtain. But it's open. Y'all stay safe and be blessed. We out.